Hi guys, welcome back to Heart Talks with Anita Bahal. Today I'm doing a little special edition of marriage. I hope you find it funny and I hope you laugh, and of course I also hope that it resonates with all you married women out there, and also for the youths who think marriage is just full of fantasies and dreams coming true and happily ever after. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong, marriage is wonderful, but I just want to show both the ups and downs and everything that come with it, okay? In a fun and light manner. Okay, so as you guys know, I was just 18 when I got married. Yes, I was 18. I actually met Safaraz when I was 16, and after this video today, tomorrow actually makes 22 years we are married, and I hope that it makes 23 after he sees this video. Anyway, so I was 18 when I got married, and of course I grew up in a very traditional home back in Trinidad and Tobago. And what was really funny, my dad was really strict, so I sort of like thought getting married was in a part like a way out of his strictness, because Safaraz was so cool. Don't get me wrong, I really like Safaraz because my parents focused so much on education that I thought he was a great catch, you know. Yes, I actually thought he was a great catch. He was all educated, and this is what attracted me to him. Also, his respect and mannerisms were wonderful, you know. Somehow apparently he didn't talk to any girls before me. Okay, just kidding, but I mean, like, he didn't like any girls before me, so they said. Anyway, he was just 19. Anyway, that's beside the point. So before we dive into marriage, we actually think that, you know, our parents being too hard on us, you know, our parents making us, we can't go out late, we have to come back by a certain time, we have chores to do, we actually feel they're being too strict, they push us to do our careers or to do well in school to be able to take care of ourselves, and we sort of like rebel, and a lot of times we fall in love and we just feel we could just run away from the house. Well, let me tell you something. You see that same house you want to run away from? You'll be running back right there for help, okay? So me now, I tell my father, if he don't marry me, I will go and marry myself, okay? Because my mouth was a little hot, okay? When I was in Form 6, I really liked Safaraz, and I tell my dad I want to get married. Anyway, that's beside the point again. So we get married. Now, mind you, we didn't have a wedding. We just said we would just sign, you know, like legal marriage, and in the future we'd have that wedding. Up to today, 22 years after, people, I didn't have this wedding, okay? No wedding yet. So these were trying to look a little young in case a wedding coming up. Olive could look out for that. Anyway, so imagine now, 18 years old, I gonna get myself married now. So we, first of all, I gone and he had to buy me a ring with his own money. Now he's a student in medicine. Yes, he win a scholarship and saying he have a little money. I think he was getting 800 a month. So he going to buy me a ring. This boy buy me a one-piece ring, you know. One piece. Now, this is not the ring yet, but anyway. So I sit down there with my little foolish self, and I cry down because I want a next piece, because my mother have a two-piece. Okay? Anyway, he buy me the next piece. Lo and behold, sometime in the future, I lost half of the ring. But that is beside the point. The point is, the boy couldn't afford it, but I beg him out down for the ring, and he buy it for me. Anyway. I don't know why I do that. That was dumb. Anyway, let me get more into it. So I get married and thing. You know, on the day I get married, or even before, one thing, make sure you know, educate your children, talk to them. No, I tell you, I don't think my mother ever talked to me about, you know, the birds and the bees. I really don't think so. In school, I probably have an idea. I actually never know like how this is gonna play down. So she never talked to me. I reach now, we get married Friday, so we go on somewhere to the cove. I reach there now, my mother calling me. How you going? How you going? You using anything? What? Wait, me and mom, me I do nothing yet. Using it, you know, so funny. Imagine now, my brother walked me down that same day too. I remember he giving me a drop to the junction. Yes, I traveled to get married earlier in that black dress, so nobody wouldn't suspect. Anyway, so imagine now, my brother watched me that morning and tell me, my eldest brother, let me see my sister as a virgin for the last time. Whatever that meant. Anyway, so I go on now, I get married, my mother calling me. I know nothing about using nothing. And to be honest, in my first few weeks of marriage, I left it on myself because me, I know, but that is okay because, you know, my husband happy that, you know, he supposedly think that, you know, he got this real good girl and whatever. That is beside the point. What I'm just trying to say, that my mother didn't talk about the birds and the bees, and I wasn't like I should know all more now. I really learn up about contraceptives and me read nothing about what has happened and thing. I just letting it flow. You know what I mean? Anyway, lo and behold, we get married, and you know this thing about you have all these dreams and thing. I know my husband real smart. So I asked the man before, I say, here this thing now. You're going to settle to be a GP, that's a general practitioner. Because I know I like, as a homely girl, I want my husband come home. And I just want to, you know, the boy tell me yes. You know why? Because when you're getting married, you think you're all in love, you know, and he telling you all you want to hear. And also, you must be telling him all you want to hear too. But one thing, don't get tired. My parents tell this boy, I don't like to cook and my mouth hot, but I want to track back there. I find they shouldn't say I don't like to cook. It was just I wasn't exposed to much to cooking, but I used to real clean the house, but I don't know if they tell him that piece. Anyway, so he tell me he will be a GP. So thing going good. We get married, and the Friday, I think Monday evening, we giving lessons, we making a little money, and we surviving. And the deal was, we get married, but he was supposed to live home by his parents, I think he was up in St. Joseph that time, near Mount Hope, and I was supposed to live home. But check thing now, I only begging the boy to stay. So I begging him to spend night by we, until lo and behold, I having my first baby, okay? I don't know how that happened, right? Forget that. Now, imagine now, I pregnant, and I was supposed to go to university because I have dreams all year. I a bright girl, at least I thought so. I don't know why I get married at 18. Anyway, so I had to stay. I decided I'm pregnant, okay, I stay no my year. I don't know why a year turned into 2. I stay home 2 years before I go to university, you know. And I thought I was a bright girl. And he did business, you know, he okay with that. It was okay. He was okay because, of course, he getting along with his career. So what I want to tell you see this kind of thing about people believe that when you get married, it's 50-50. It takes a lot more. The compromising don't be like exactly 50-50. You have to like give and take, and it is be... I find for women, I don't know if you're feeling it, but I think women is a more 80-20. But anyway, let me not go there. But the point is, it's not 50-50. So I was behind 2 years something, and I had taken no horrors. But when the child come, boy, Arjun wasn't easy. This child crying day and night. I was getting real frustrated, let me tell you. And you see the same father I was trying to get away from, and I was saying he's strict. He himself had to help me day and night with Arjun because I losing my brains, okay? And Mr. Safras, you know what he was saying? Go by your mother. I have to study. So, in the beginning now, when he thought he was all in love and thing, and I well say, you know, he just listen to me, he have time for me and thing. What time? He studied his medical thing, he have to have a career, he's smart, he moving up, and I was home and I started to give all the lessons as I tell you. Anyway, so one day I was reading this book, right? And here what this book say, and I never hear nothing smarter in a while. You do not fall in love and then get married. You get married and learn what love requires. Well, I tell you, nothing better I hear in a long time. You hear that? You get married and learn what love requires. Well, I find this love thing was real hard, boy. I thought, you know, we going out free when we want, we coming back when we want, nobody to tell we. Next thing you know, I had Arjun when I was 19, okay? Remember, I got married 18. So I had him when I was 19, turning 20. I was turning 20 just like months away. And yeah, so I had to breastfeed. And every time this child cries, Safra was telling me breastfeed. Every time. Imagine I want to know he going med school. And every minute he telling me breastfeed. You know why? He just wanted the child shut up so he could study. He's been a little inconsiderate there. And I find he about him too much with my career. You know, he thinking, you know, we could take with time because we's a team. But I didn't get that because he was moving up in his career. So it reached a point now, I getting exhausted, I getting fed up, you know. I used to tell him why he bothered to marry me for. And we used to have a little argument and thing. Now, when the children born, there's a next thing. If he has different religion, you need to talk about this. Don't just feel when you get married, things will get better, you know. So I'm Hindu, he's Muslim, so we have to check who name is when and what name come in first and who given the name. And so if you notice, my children name is Arjun Isa Muhammad, Ajay Ismail Muhammad, and Anjali Sefra Muhammad. Well, I say I take in the Spain, so it's obviously I put in the first name. Now that was all bold-faced, but anyway. Thank God, my in-laws, they was real nice to me. Even Safra's two sisters, his brother, his parents, thank you, Lord, they was nice to me. And thank God my parents, them. But in the beginning, it's have his little pulling and tugging. So I just want to tell you, see, when you're trying to please everybody, you will go in the madhouse. So when you get married too, you're trying to please your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, you want to be nice, you know, you're trying to please your sister-in-law and thing. I mean, no disrespect to nobody, but sometimes, you know, I used to kind of afraid Safra's big sister, you know. It was just that she was older than me, you know, and sometimes she might correct me, or sometimes she might say something that I might feel a little offended. So I had to be like, you know, because I was a little girl, I was like 19, man, and having a baby. Them must have thought I was crazy. These people studying to do their education, you know, them clearly smarter than me. Them are smarter than me. Now, my mother, on the other hand, now, getting all the backlash because I go in and make a child. Clearly, I learn about no contraceptive. I didn't know I'm to Safra, in medical school. But she helping me around the clock. I feel sorry. My mother say Arjun age, she 10 years. So when you think you're all leaving your parents and thing and you feel you're big, it's right there coming back to help. So if it wasn't for my mother too, I didn't sign up for university in 1990. I married in 97, 1999, I started school. Going to university, this lady had minded this child whole day, you know. And if it wasn't for my mother too, I was going to get some cooked food. Comment to that now. So you feel a bit. And you want to get married and you're only studying all the nice wedding dress. And you're studying how you're going to look like Shah Rukh Khan. And this one and that one. And you can't wait. And nowadays, they're having Hindu wedding. Then they're wearing white dress. I'm being of his Christian wedding. Then they're going destination wedding. Well, Papa Yoy. No, that is real nice. But you know what's the problem? You see, this cooking skills is a serious thing. Thank God I was lucky. My mother used to help me. And as soon as I could afford it, I used to have people helping me and I pay for help. But this cooking is serious business. If I could go back, I'll tell my mother to make sure I get my backside in that kitchen. Yes. Because you see, the more you cook and you practice, the faster you'll be at it. And it wouldn't be like, oh gosh, I'm not coming from work, them children hungry. And I'm not saying that guys getting off the hook here. No. Guys can't be getting off the hook at all. Everybody does eat. So all of we should be in the kitchen, I say, from by a teenager. So that is why I am making no joke with Arjun and Anjali. Ajay giving me some trouble, but he cooking a little bit. So make sure if all you feel all in love, when you get married, you have to cook. You feel all them pretty clothes you like to wear, you have to wash. You have to clean. But what I didn't realize, we should have been doing all this thing in a nice, beautiful way because we could have been doing it with ease. But when you're young and you're feisty now, what has happened? It has have like a little tug-of-war going. So you watching what he doing and he pulling so and you pulling so and he pulling and you pulling. But we had to realize, no matter how bad it gets, it's a team. But this team thing just takes some time, let me tell you. So we go in at each other. So lo and behold, I go in university now. Now money tighter because don't forget, I begging this boy to spend night. Next thing you know, he in second year med. No, he was second year med boy. I can't remember what year boy, but it's in 2001 now. He was finishing up I think med school. And the next thing you know, he gone up on stage and he say, you know, he think Anita pregnant and he feeling proud day. Now, thing was going good, a happy and thing, of course. I trying to make do, building up the lessons and I giving lessons, money going okay. We living with my father, we living peaceful and thing. Because of course, if it wasn't my parents, I would have killed he. Let me give all you a story. So one day now, he gone to work Friday morning. He come back Monday evening and he just sprawl out on the couch. So again, the parenting is mine, the breastfeeding is mine, the children apparently is mine, the housework is mine because it's his career. Now, I waking up this boy, I say, boy, get up, I fed up with you. You know my father match upstairs? My father match upstairs now and here he go tell me. Where you go tell the court? He working hard? So, I couldn't say nothing, I had to shut up and I listen and I go on my way. So marriage was very lonely. It was very lonely because, again, I was looking, as I say, for an educated guy. Now, he didn't have to be rich, but we sort of like had this ingrained in we had to look for somebody educated or somebody, I wouldn't say really like how Safra's was so smart, but your parents wanted you to find someone who could take care of your sort of thing, but they were making sure we were educated. But it was a big thing, like Indian people and education was Indian equal education. That's how it was. So I find Safra's was a good catch. But what I didn't realize until now, you see, balance, this boy need to get with it. If I said dance and sing and thing, I would have go in the madhouse and I even get it. So this boy just busy. Is when he work, study, and where we used to go out, we taking with kids wherever we go in, and we make and do, and life going on. But you know what happened? I felt like I was losing joy. Like I was becoming robotic. Like I was just going through the motions. So you get up, you drop the children. Of course, he dressed up too, but he leave way earlier than me. I put the 3 children. I go to work. It had a time I was teaching in presentation, going university part-time, pregnant with Angelique, coming home to lessons at 4 to 7. And Safra's continued to be busy. Mind you, he used to help me teach too. Now, he was real hardworking, don't get me wrong, So like when he have time, he building desk, he putting up sink, he tiling, he helping me, But he was hardly around. And I felt so lonely because, again, I look for educated boy, and I realized my whole life was a more balanced one. I craved balance, but Safra's, his career and lifestyle was not feeding into that, So I had to let go, but I wasn't letting go. Now, life going ahead now, so they all, I think by then, I think one was in preschool and the next 2 I think in Freeport Hindu, and I finished university, and the lessons going good, and I feel like we are a little settled because I had a child in 1999, 2001, 2003, and I settled. But don't forget, I wanted to run away from my parents. It's right there getting help regular. I stay insane. I used to go out all the time with my parents, otherwise I would be so lonely because Safra used to work a lot of nights, and at a time he was working one-on-one, and he would tell me he can't carry me in the beach because he'll be too far from the hospital. And I was holding on, and sometimes I used to look at myself in the mirror and be like, why he don't love me? What's wrong with me? But what was wrong is that he was real painting up a beautiful canvas and making his life and adding more and more to his portfolio. And I was too stupid focusing on him and not on myself. So what I want all the young girls, nothing wrong if you like a boy, Nothing wrong if you're thinking love, but don't forget, when you get married, you will see what love requires. It's not only infatuation and lust and this body and this feeling you just get. It's way more than that. So the next thing, all are we going down. Now, if you watch here now, so these Safras and me now, right? By then now, these Safras and me, we have with 3 little babies. So we have with 3 babies, thing going nice, If you watch here closely, thing going good, 5 are we living at my parents' house. 5 are we going good. So I have 3 nice kids. I mean, the occasion, I feel like I could have girl, boys out there, women, friends, everybody. Sometimes I thought I was losing my mind. So this was all away, right? Just so, Safra's come at night, and he had this weird boy earlier. Coming nice, Anita, I feeling I want to study this, and he's have a nice way, he always taking up some course, something, and he said, catch me in a nice mood. And I got to, yeah, give in. But every time I give in, it's because there's more work for me. Now, so until it reached a point now, he tell me now, he want to do neurosurgery. I think it was at late midnight one night, just so So he tell me and thing, and I half asleep, and I say, okay. Before you know it, I wink my eye, the boy reach Canada. And you know what's going on now? So he go in Canada. Excuse me there. He go in Canada. So 4 we on our ship now, and he go in Canada. You see that? So 4 we. 4 of us, sorry. We on the ship, and he gone Canada. Now, obviously he gone Canada, and he's saying, he want to specialize, and we going for better life, and whatever. I can understand this better life thing, because I have a good job. I teach in presentation college, Agonas. I love my job. I have a successful lesson center running. I have 3 beautiful children who doing good, and I was happy. But you know now, this boy, you see he cannot stay easy. He have to learn everything anyway. So we decide and the boy gone. A few months after now he leave me in that year, mind you. I was doing the bed. I begged the boy to stay. So girls, don't feel when they're telling you they all love you and we's 50. It will be no 50-50. He tell me he have the opportunity now. We have to go. So I say, well, all right, we'll go. Where I gonna say? Okay, well, I real cry and thing and I beg and I don't know. Because I have 3 young children and I want to do the bed. He gone. That year was one of the hardest. I was doing the ped, I had the lessons again, I working. Let me figure that. So, I go on with the boy. Eventually, a few months after, I leave the lesson center that take 10 years to build up. It's finally doing real good now, And, and I was actually getting some rest. The kids was all bigger. And I went. When I went to Canada now, we all trying to live in one space. We trying hard, I was trying hard, but I couldn't get a teaching job. And his career was keep shooting off, and I felt so alone. And in retrospect, I realized probably it was because my career brought so much joy. My career, I always told people it was the students that brought so much joy. And I used to laugh so much with these students, but people didn't know I used to cry so much in the night. I was crying because I had young kids, and Safraz persists in his career. He did business. In fact, on retrospect, love is truly letting go. Love is letting the other person be who they are. And he accepted me for who I was. So he basically said, babe, you're not getting a job. If you feel happy in Trinidad, go back. So we was together. I jump back. So I jump back now and I go on back Trinidad in the islands. Now I did that because I was unhappy in Canada. I wasn't getting a full-time job. He career taken off and it's like everything was on me. And mind you, he was like working 100 hours a week. And he was so exhausted. One time the boy come home, I tell you, and he sleep away on the toilet. Yeah, he's sleeping away on the toilet. If you only talk to him, and of course, okay, I wouldn't say talk. I would sing the same song over and over and over. Are you happy? Because I was so frustrated and we'd end up in heated arguments. And we had such a nice relationship, There was no need for those heated arguments, but I wasn't working on myself, I was young, and it's like, being 16 and having met Safraz, I had this preconceived idea in my head that marriage was going to be 2 people journeying and 2 people sharing parenting and 2 people sharing the meals and 2 people walking the kids from school, I guess, and going on weekends for a nice dinner. But it was nothing like that. And it left me very much disappointed, very, very disappointed. In fact, just to track back, I remember when he was in med school, I had just had a baby. I just had Aji, right? And Safraz used to sleep on the ground. And in the night, when the baby used to sleep on the bed with me and Safraz was on the ground, and in the night I shake Safraz like, gab, and I seen the baby, where the baby? He's like, what baby? What are you talking about? I was like, the baby we just make. And he's like, oh my gosh, what the baby we just make? And we did find the baby. The baby had rolled off and was under the bed. But Safraz used to be so exhausted, and he has been keeping at this for years, And Arjun told me a few times, that Mom, what people see Dad as a neurosurgeon, he see you as a teacher, but they see 3 of us doing well, but they don't know the dynamics of our household. And as I told you, I moved back to Trinidad, and moving back to Trinidad now, it was 4 of us. And what was sad is that this was me. I was all ready and stuff, and then the next thing I had my 3 little kiddies who were forced to grow up really strong. And a lot of time when I was tearing all of them, I fell down. I fell down so many times. I cried so much times, it was scary. Actually, I would cry, but I would wake up myself and get going. And what was sad is that a lot of times Arjun and Anjali stayed for me. I remember times Anjali will have to say, Dad doesn't get what you have to go through. You cannot get what Dad has to go through. But on retrospect, my husband is such a wonderful man because he didn't call me and complain. He didn't add to my issues back in Trinidad and Tobago. But But honestly, I wished he could be there more. I just wished it, and I sought help. At one time, I thought I was like mentally depleting. I used to tell my mom, I'm seeing dark clouds everywhere. And I would be in this darkness. So I actually went, and Safras used to tell me that all the symptoms I'm showing is depression. Yet he couldn't be there. People would say, are you Skyping with your husband? It just wasn't possible. He was always in surgery and we weren't Skyping much. And a lot of times it would build up so much that I would take out so much on him. And yet I don't know how he went through all those hours and he was all alone. But he stood up, and up to this day he says he has remained faithful to me, and I have remained faithful to him. But there was so much falling down, And I started this journey having so much, I would say, expectation that it would be 50-50, it would be compromise, he would be a GP. And everything just changed, He had different dreams. He changed. I had to learn to let go. I was exhausted. And what I did, I used to sleep a lot. I remember coming home from work, I would sleep. Or what I did is when WhatsApp came out too, I was using it extensively. And a lot of times I would send him hurtful text, out of my own sadness and anger. And what was powerful though in marriage though is that I had so much hope. Angela used to be a little upset with me because she used to be like, Dad keeps saying he's going to call more, he's going to do this more, he's going to do this more. And every time he disappoints, and you keep hoping, And hope is such a powerful word because hope surely helped me. And for sure, also, I read so much self-help books. I tell you, I have read The Happiness Project. I read The Glass Castle to show me the brighter side of things. I was reading Deepak Chopra. I was reading Robin Sharma. I went online and I was looking. I remember trying to get in with like a doctor women's group, and I remember when I went to that group, neurosurgeons' wives. Oh my God, they told me just run right now when you could. It doesn't get better. I actually met with doctors' wives. I remember and having talks with them how they coped, and a lot of them had to stay home. But at that age, I had a career. I had dreams, One of my dreams was to build a big school one day. And it hasn't come to pass, Safra's dream was to be a neurosurgeon, and he sure did it. And I respect him for that. I respect him for continuing his journey, even though many times my emotions got the better of me, and I would say I pulled him down, But to all you young people, I just want to say that marriage is so much more than just thinking you're going to run away from your family. Believe me, you need your family so much. I mean, I was lucky that my brothers actually spent a lot of time with my kids, spent a lot of time with my kids to play sports with them and to be there for them and to show them a lot of love. And my father was such a strength in helping my kids to... This video was supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be comedy. He was such a strength, I used to call him up to talk to them, when they were getting bigger. And I worked so much, because I wanted my own thing. So actually marriage became a little like a battle for me. Like I wanted my own thing. Safras wanted his own thing. There was no common ground. He kept saying that he couldn't leave neurosurgery because it was so much years he had invested, and he was right. But I couldn't accept that every year it was something new. It was something more, something extra, from the masters to the residency to the fellowship to trying to get a job. And I had so much fear. And for all those friends who I would have burdened with my problems, I had many of them. I say sorry. I am extremely sorry. What I should have done in those years, yes, I read self-help books. I remember going to the Brahma Kumari's Institute. I remember going to a psychiatrist who said I was just overburdened with a lot. But to all those young people, if I could give you some tips, before going into marriage, this idea of falling in love is great, and knowing your partner is great. But I want you to know that no marriage is perfect, and that every marriage should uplift us. And though I longed and I wished for Safras to come home more and to love me more, It's not that he didn't love me. It was just that he saw something far beyond my imagination. He had dreams. He wanted to serve others. He was never a man associated with luxury or money. But I can see it. I wanted to be the center of his world. And what I want to say to you, if you are going on this journey of marriage, or if you are within it, none of us are perfect. I would say, an emotional mess at times. I may have said hurtful words to the wrong people at the wrong time. I did not focus enough on myself. I robbed my kids of many joyful moments by my tears. And I want to say to you that sometimes we start off in a certain way, and we start off on the same ship. And sometimes we both need to breathe, and we both are individuals, and we both have dreams, and we both need to respect this. But what we need to realize is that both our dreams may not be able to happen at the same time, and that each person cannot really compromise exactly 50-50 in order to realize their dreams, but to accompany you if you would like them on your journey. They can only give what they have. And my mother, all along, when I would say hurtful things to Safraz, that he wasn't a good father and a husband, she would always tell me, do you feel good after you vented to him? And she would always tell me to give love. She always told me to write down all the wonderful things about him, and there's so many, I cannot even list them. She said to me, give love, give love, give love. But what had happened is that I was quite empty. I was working, I was raising kids, I was teaching, and I was so empty. But if I had just stopped for even a year and stopped trying to live in a world where I thought that I was educated and I need to move up, or that time was running out, or that I was smart too, and I had just stopped myself for just 1 year and created a new way of being, created an ease, a faster way of cooking healthier meals, probably just being with the plants, being in the moment, focusing more on my mind and moving it out of negative thoughts and focusing on all Safra's shortcomings, but to uplift myself, I would have handled things much better. Also, in retrospect, as I said, Safra's never burdened me. But one thing I could tell you is that I wasn't able to vent to him too much. He couldn't handle it. It was just too much for him. And I can't imagine it now that my big son is in university. At one point, he was feeling a bit lonely, and he said he couldn't imagine how his father lived in a house all those years by himself. And somewhat, I like to reflect and say I was quite selfish at times. He had no one.